Good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome to each one of you joining us today for this special webinar. It is focused on strategies for IndiGo's written round. So today we'll be discussing about IndiGo's written round. What should we expect for the exam? What IndiGo expects from us and how to go about it. Before we begin, let me briefly introduce ourselves. That is Airship Aviation Academy. We are a premier institute which is focused on online teaching, and we focus on comprehensive programs including a CPL written course. Currently, we are also doing ATPL theoretical classes. We'll be also following up with the Viva classes soon. Airline entrance preparation for all the rounds, that is written exam, adapt, GD, and PI. And we also teach for aircraft specific, that is for the type rated candidates for A320 and Boeing 737. So I'm sure after today's session, it will help you take one step closer to the right seat. And let's begin. So today we'll be discussing specifically about IndiGo's interview and what should be our strategy? How shall we go about it? All right. So today, what we'll be discussing today, shall we expect in the IndiGo's written exam? What is actually asked? What shall we expect from the exam? What is the subject distribution? What is the priority order? What is the question logic? All right. Okay. So what is the question style? In IndiGo, usually our typical DGCA questions are not asked. They are very conceptual and require in-depth knowledge of all the topics. High impact, what will be our strategies? We'll be discussing the strategies, how to go about it. What happens after the written exam? After you clear your written exam, we have our adapt, we have GD, group discussion, then we have the personal interview. What shall we do? What do top scorers do differently? We are not only looking to clear our exam, but we are looking to get in the top merit list. Why? Because it matters a lot. Being higher in the order, being up in the merit list is very important. We'll discuss about it soon. All right. So what shall we avoid? What are the common mistakes the students are making? What cost us the exam? We don't want to let the opportunity slip. IndiGo's vacancy comes once a year. We don't want to miss it out. All right. So what are the mistakes to avoid? Very important. How will we help the Airship Aviation Academy? How will we tailor-made the course for you? And at the end, we also have a special offer for you. All right. So about the IndiGo's written exam. Okay. So it evaluates your core aviation knowledge similar to ATPL standards. So let me make this very clear. Your typical CPL DGCA questions are not asked. In-depth questions are asked in which you need good knowledge about the subject and you won't find them in any question banks. The only solution is you need to go through your books, go through your notes thoroughly, understand, and then attempt the mock papers and sit for the exam. It tests your speed, accuracy, and concepts under time pressure. Does anyone know what is the duration of our IndiGo's written exam? Anyone has any idea? IndiGo has the exam is of 75 minutes and the questions usually asked are 60 questions. All right. That's a very short period of time considering lengthy numericals are asked. All right.
Sir, I had a query, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, actually, I wanted to know now after we give the exam, the written exam, how are the students evaluated? Like in the sense, do they follow the same 70% DGSA passing, or you are selected on merit basis?
Okay, you are selected on the merit basis. There is no 70% marking. If your IndiGo has vacancies for, let's say, 100 pilots, so they might shortlist 300 candidates. So the top 300 candidates, whatever the cutoff will be, that's how the students are selected. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir, it makes sense. So this is for all the airlines, this
All the
merit
airlines,
basis?
all the airlines, merit based.
Okay, so each airline has their own cutoff.
Each airline has their own cutoff depending upon the vacancies they have.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. So let's continue. Test your speed. It is very lengthy. Then accuracy. Accuracy is also very important. And time pressure. We'll speak about time pressure in a bit. What are the topics? all your DGCA, of which all the DGCA topics which you gave, which you appeared, are asked. This is for your CPL and both for your type rated. We'll also come to type rated in a bit. This is for both. So it's like you're appearing for all the exams in one attempt. You have to study for all the exams for one attempt. You can think of it like that. Each and every subject is asked and in detail. So the written round, it is conducted in three cities. That is Delhi in North India, in West, we have Mumbai, and in South, we have Bangalore. So the written round is only usually conducted in these three cities, and it's usually in a private school. And you'll be informed about the reporting time, venue, and everything via the email after your application has been shortlisted. So you will sit in a hall style seating, and it is an OMR type exam. Please remember, it is not your typical DGCA computer based exam. You'll be given OMR sheets just like your NEET, NDA, CDS. It will be OMR sheets. So please be careful. Once you have marked the answer, you won't be able to change until and unless you use a pencil. Then later you darken it with the pen. All right. So this is very important. So OMR sheets, you need to practice on OMR sheets. So what happens in the Indigo written exam? We have 75 minutes for 60 questions. It is 75 questions, 75 minutes for 60 questions. That is 1 minute, 75 seconds per question. The time is very limited. Often students are not able to complete the exam. That's why time management is really, really important. For that, you need to go through your mock papers, sample papers. You need to be thorough with the syllabus. There are long multi-step numerical problems, especially in TechGen and navigation. I'll give you an example. In April, IndiGo's April vacancy last year, a question was, please keep in mind you won't be able to carry any scientific calculators, CX3s, anything. All the calculations have to be done mentally. You won't be having any calculators. All right. So one of the question was regarding time from your general navigation. Local time of place X was given along with the longitude. We had to find local time of place Y. So the options, the difference in the longitude was, it wasn't a multiple of 15. So the answer came out in multiples and decimals, correction. And even your options, they are very near. Like one option was 15.6, another option was 15.4. So you need to be very careful regarding your calculation. Even sometimes, even rough estimate won't work. Your calculations has to be really good. And these type of questions usually take more than 75 seconds. So how do we counter that? There'll be also some questions which are really easy. Like I remember first question was, what is the full form of CPDLC? It won't take 70 more than 75 seconds. You'll be able to mark that in less than 10 seconds. All right. So you need to read, solve, estimate, and choose the closest decimal answer all within 75 seconds. So what happens is you will read the question through your question paper. You will see, you will calculate, you will understand, you will calculate. Then you will pick up the pen. You will go to your OMR sheet. Then you will start marking. Then you will see, okay, this is question number 32. Then you will find question number 32 in the OMR sheet and then mark the option. Please remember, you cannot make mistake here. You cannot mark two options or you cannot cut it. All right. So you need to be careful about that.
Sir, one query, sir, about this exam question paper.
Yeah.
Sir, are you given time to go through the paper, the questions, or directly, how does it go, sir?
You are not allowed to flip over your paper before the time begins. You won't have the reading time.
Oh, you're not, you can't go
No,
through the
no, no.
questions.
You're given the OMR sheets earlier. You fill up the
Okay, sir.
details, your roll number, etc.
Okay,
Then, for example, if the exam
sir.
begins at 11 a.m., exactly at 11 a.m., you will be handed over the question paper,
Okay, sir.
and
Okay, sir.
then you'll be allowed to flip the question paper, and you can start.
Okay, sir.
So exactly 75 minutes, no reading time. All right.
Okay, sir.
And okay, then please dress professionally. You all might not notice, but senior HR officials and senior pilots, management pilots are present, especially in the Delhi center. You will have all the IndiGo's management senior pilots as your invigilators. So you will be having three invigilators in your exam hall. Two will be from the school and one will be of IndiGo, either the HR, it can be your IndiGo's senior official. So you will be having three invigilators and please dress professionally. Please do not wear shorts or something like that. Okay? You are being observed. So please make a good impression. Some basic things, gadgets and belongings obviously are not allowed. Mobile phones must be switched off and silent. So once you enter your school or your exam hall, the building, there'll be a place where your bags will be deposited. Your phones will be in it. No smartwatches, no analog watches. Analog watches, the plain analog watches are allowed. However, there's a clock in your class exam hall as well. And no calculators, smartwatches, wallets, purses, or electronic devices allowed inside the exam hall. So what is allowed inside the exam hall? These are the documents. You have to carry your CPL license or the DGCA challan if recently your course has been complete. Your Aadhaar card and hall ticket. Correction, this is not or, this is and. Then you have to also carry, you can carry your passport as well. And CPL is a must, especially for the A320 type rated. HB pencil, sharpener, eraser, you may carry that. Pen will be provided in the exam hall. So what do many students do? First, they mark the options with the pencil. They think that I'll get the time to revise. Then at the end, I'll mark or darken all the options with the pen. However, that's not the case. You don't get that much of time. So what I would recommend is directly be sure of the option, be sure of the answer you have calculated and mark it then and there. You will be short of time. All right. So travel and stay. Indigo won't be providing anything. You need to travel on your own accommodation, no reimbursement. And parking, usually it is a private school, no parking facility is available at the exam venue. You need to commute on your own accordingly. Then entry and exit rules, only candidates are allowed. Your friends, family are not allowed inside the exam hall or inside the school premises. No one can leave the exam hall before the 75 minutes. All right. So you have to stay there, stay inside there. You cannot leave before, even if you are done. Reach the venue at least 45 minutes early. Usually it gets very crowded. So it's better to reach early and proceed to your exam hall. And obviously, late entries are strictly discouraged. The moment, the time you will be given in your hall ticket, after that, you won't be allowed entry. So please be careful about the timing. So what are the questions usually asked? So now we have the two categories. For Indigo, we are currently speaking about the 320 type rated pilots along with ATR and CPL holders. So CPL holders, how many of you are CPL holders? Can you please raise your hand? All other type rated? Everyone else? Okay. Okay. So I'm assuming others are type rated, be it 320, 737 or ATR. Okay. So 60 questions are asked. All right. So for CPL holder, let's speak about the CPL holders first. 60 questions are asked based on your CPL syllabus. Not only your CPL syllabus, there are some additional topics as well, which are specific to your ATPL and which are specific just to Indigo. So you need to study extra and you need to be thorough with the extra topics which you haven't studied before. So around 50 to 20 questions, technical general, the most important out of all the subjects, tech gen. Out of this 15 to 20 questions, around 7 to 10 questions are from your principle of flights, be it your flaps, the configuration, stall, the wingspan, ground effect, Dutch roll, autopilot, everything comes under principle of flights. Around 7 to 10 questions are asked from principle of flights. Then gas turbine engines, mostly compressor stalls is asked. 3, 4 questions on that. Then propeller theory and systems are asked as well. All right. So this is the most important tech gen and a good clarity on your concepts is required. It is no simple questions are asked, unlike your DGCA, because in DGCA we have a question bank. We know what questions will be asked. All the questions are basically leaked. However, in Indigo, every time unique questions are asked, and they are very conceptual. You won't find them in any book. Most of the questions regarding air navigation. So air navigation, 12 to 15 questions will be asked. So in which equal distribution is between the three subjects of air navigation. And in air navigation, you can expect lengthy numericals. We'll be discussing about the numericals in a bit. Then meteorology, again, very important. Meteorology, we all think that meteorology is the easiest subject. However, trust me, it is the hardest subject once you go in the detail, the clouds. So what happens usually in in our IndiGo's exam, you will be given a METAR. Then you will be asked if the air is dry, if the air is humid, or anything from the METAR can be asked. All right. Then icing questions, tricky IC questions are asked. Then about your QNH, QFE, again, mental calculation of the numericals. Then air regulations, often neglected by the students because a lot of theory in this, but again, very important. Your cars, AIP are part of this in air regulation, very important. All right. Then English language, not usually asked in Indigo. Sometimes it is asked 1 to 2 questions. It is more common in your Air India and Air India Express. Then aptitude and basic maths like speed is equal to distance upon time. Then converting knots to kilometers per hour and vice versa. That is your aptitude and basic maths. These questions are asked. Now coming to your 320 type rated pilots.
Sir,
Uh,
don't mind, I had a
yes.
query, so sorry to interrupt.
Fine.
English language, they ask you grammatical, sir? Or
Yes, sometimes grammatical is asked. It is more common in your Air India and Air India Express, but a simple grammatical questions can be asked, like they asked in UPSC exams like NDA and CDS.
okay, sir.
Okay, so after that, 320, now coming to 320 type rated ATR, oblique ATR. So the questions out of the 60 questions which the CPL holders will be getting, out of them, same 30 questions will be asked from the type rated pilots as well. So you can't say like that if you are a type rated candidate, you only study about your 320 systems. You also need to study your CPL subjects. So 30 questions, again, they are hard and lengthy. 30 questions from your DGCA CPL syllabus is asked. Along with that, 30 questions from A320 specific systems. The second half would be from your A320. It can be about your ECAM, QRH, normal and abnormal procedures, ATA chapters, EFIS, ECAM integrations, and FCOM style queries. Now about A320, you guys should be thorough at least twice in detail. Please read your FCOM, QRH, FCTM at least twice before the exam. And the ATA chapters, obviously very important. This is for your 320. All right. If you
Sir,
have any,
I had a small question, sir.
yes.
This distribution you have given 30 questions DGCA, CPL, 30 questions
Mhm.
A320. Could
Yes,
be there a difference in the distribution also? Like it could be more of DGCA than 320 sometimes, or it's fixed, like it'll
it's
be
uh,
half half.
it's usually fixed. So Indigo from the last two times, from April and the second vacancy in August or September, it was equivalent 30 and 30.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So it is half 50-50. So some question you might argue that they're from CP.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So again, now okay. So let's see what kind of questions are asked. Like I was speaking about lengthy numericals are asked, and you won't be having your calculators. So example, this is from your April vacancy, I believe. So it is a numerical. Like calculate the top of descent for an aircraft flying at flight level 350 with a descent rate of 1800 feet per minute and a ground speed of 480 knots. So please remember, you won't be having any calculators. You'll be just having a rough sheet and a pen. So you need to do it with that. So that's how this is how questions are asked. I'll give you one more example, standby, of the numericals which are asked. So basic numericals about in instruments we have studied about Mach meter, local speed of sound. The numerical was about local speed of sound. So, for example, you're flying at flight level 300 and the outside air temperature is ISA plus 5 degrees Celsius. Then what is the local speed of sound? So again, here you need to, at flight level 300, you need to calculate what is your outside air temperature in ISA conditions, then you add it by 5 degrees Celsius. Then whatever the temperature you get, you convert it into Kelvin. After that, put it under put it under the root, then 39 times under root. That's how you'll get your local speed of sound. So that's how the questions are asked. So please, you need to keep on practicing, and you need to be quick with your time management. That's how the questions in general navigation are asked. Tech questions, they are often logic based, not definition based. Again, your numericals correction, not the numericals, your the questions are concept based. Like example, why is the compressor stall likely at the low RPM? And trust me, the options are really confusing. They all seem the same. So a good understanding of the topic is required. And again a question about intake gen centrifugal compressor. What is the shape of intake and diffuser and exit of the impeller? Then you will have the statements: statement one, statement two, statement three. Then the option will be statement one and two is correct, statement two and three is correct. That's how you'll get the options. So again, concept based, need to be very clear about the concept, and sometimes even the elimination logic won't work until unless you certainly know what is the answer. So Indigo is really smart about designing the paper, and they ensure that it is question paper isn't designed like directly from the question banks. All right, talking about navigation, wind triangle estimation, time distance speed relation, crosswind components, magnetic variation, deviation logic, CDMVT. That all is okay. It won't take much of your time. But again, a good understanding is required to complete the question maybe in 30 seconds so that you can save up some time for the lengthy numericals. Okay, so in MET, often decoding your meta, tabs, cloud behavior, behavior of the clouds, the fronts, what happens after warm front has passed. Again, in fronts, students tend to get confused. There are three situations: when it has passed, when you are inside the front, and when you are when it is approaching. So it is very confusing. These questions are asked in MET. Then in English and aptitude, not very important for Indigo. However, for your other Air India and Air India Express, grammar, sentence correction, logic puzzles, basic algebra, or percentage questions. Okay. So again, what we think is this isn't your standard DGCA exam. You're not just you are being tested on your knowledge, but also your endurance, estimation, clarity, and temperament. The question paper is designed as such so that you crumble under the pressure, so that only the best of the best students are selected and they come on top of the merit list. The merit list is also very important, as we discussed. All the subsequent rounds, the selection of rounds, all the rounds will be based on your merit only. All right. The higher you are up in the merit, the sooner you will get inducted. So again, it is very important. Okay, so what are the strategies? How should you tackle the Indigo's paper? So in air navigation, the numerical CPPNR calculation. So you need to be thorough with your, obviously you need to remember your formulas. Along with that, CPPNR usually not very tough questions are asked. You will directly fit in inside the formula. However, since you don't have the calculator, the endurance, outbound speed, homebound speed, the grounds, you will be given tasks, you'll need to convert it into ground speed, all that. It will take a bit of time. All right. Then wind correction angles, drift calculation, 1 is to 60 rule, conversions. Then how should you tackle it? Our approximation and estimation should be good because we won't be having our calculators. Then focus on unit conversions and practice without a calculator. So what is the solution to this? From now itself, you start preparing without the calculator. Either use a pen and paper to calculate or do it in your mind. With time, you will get better. Practice pencil and paper wind triangle sketches to visualize drift. Again, drift is sometimes very confusing in the questions. Then don't rely on derivation during the test. Just remember all the formulas. All right. About your metrology. Any questions about navigation? Okay, so we'll also be having a question and answer round at the end. And about your metrology, your METAR, TAF, certain kind, these type of questions are usually asked more, which is more practical, more related to your flying. Then types of cloud and the significance. Cirrus, then Cirrus, CBs, Nimbostratus, your Corona, Halo, all these type of questions, their significance, what brings the rain, what brings the hail, All these type of questions are asked. Frontal systems, very confusing. Cold front, warm front. Icing, tricky question on icing was asked last time. Then turbulence, wind shear, microbursts. All these type of questions are asked, and they are not definition based. They are concept based. So you need to be thorough with your with in depth, and you need to be study in depth these topics. That's how you'll be able to tackle them. Then how to decode, how to tackle them. Decode real world metards and taps using everyday online resources. So anytime you can go up, look up online, like what is the metar of Delhi. You can decode it because sometimes even questions of in metar codes are asked. So you need to be thorough with your metar codes. In April and September, metar code of hail was asked. Can anyone tell me what is the metar code of hail? GR. That's correct. So that was asked, and many students got confused. The options were BR, GR, then I think SN was there, and FU was there. So it gets confusing. So please start reading your metas and taps. Which weather phenomena are flight critical. Your CBs, your climate, your southwest monsoon. Everything about this is asked in detail, especially your Indian climatology is very much asked in your personal interview in a lot of detail. So better do to study it right now. Then use AIP India and annexures to understand the standard terms. We need to be up to date with our ICAO annexures and AIP as well because trust me, if you follow a certain Indian author book, they are usually not up to the date. Like recently, FDTL was changed. In the books, if you study from the book, if you only take the bookish knowledge and not the practical, then you will mark the wrong answer. Even certain basic things are given wrong in certain books. I don't want to name them. So please refer to good sources of information. The best sources are Oxford books, and everything is derived from these books only. You can refer to the Indian books just for reference, not study your full syllabus from them. All right. So air regulations, easy to score, often ignored by the students. What is asked? DGCA cars, aircraft rules, FDTL. Again, FDTL very important. Documents, responsibilities of PIC, licensing requirements and limitation. Like last time, the question was asked if a person is suffering from, we have a list, right, of all the diseases. What is the time period? What is the time period before which he should not travel? Question of that was asked. During the fueling of the aircraft, what shall be the distance? That what is the danger zone in which no one should enter? Options were in meters. No fire should be in how much of distance or no refueling. So these kind of questions are asked. These are very easy to score and which are often ignored by the students. Okay, Regs is typically easy and you just need to make your own notes. Be thorough with it. We often forget them. So regularly keep revising it. All right. So tech gen, your propeller theory always one question is asked about your fixed variable and variable pitch, about feathering, about your CSDU. These kind of questions are asked. Piston engines, fuel, ignition, cooling system, cylinder head temperature. These type of questions are asked, and again, they are detailed questions, not one-liners from the question banks. Gas turbine engine, very important. I have emphasized upon it a lot. Compressors, turbine bypass ratio, stall, compressor stall. Then your IGVs, the shape of them, Bernoulli's theory. Then in system, we have hydraulics, pneumatic pressurization. We have a Pascal's law, Brahma's press principle, pressurization. The what is the pressurization? Very important for A320 as well. Then we have instrumentation, gyros, altimeter, VSI, airspeed. Again, five to eight questions are asked from these. All right. So again, it is concept based, and we need to understand the cause effect logic. That's how the question is asked. Why does engine surge happen? Why? It is asked in detail. What causes the prop drag? What configuration causes the drag? Why do we feather the aircraft? What happens? All right. PV diagrams, flame out, surge versus stall, difference between them. Everything, all of this is important. So what shall remain as a reference? These are our Oxford ATPL books, and you can follow any other book you like. Okay. So obviously it is not easy to go through all the Oxford books for your exams. That's why. we recommend you to make your own notes. However, what we have done here at Airship is we have we have tailor-made for from the perspective of Indigo's exam, and from all the books which is asked in the exam, we have gathered all the information. All right. So talking about your 320 ATA chapter-based questions, very important. QRH memory items. Memory items we all know, very, very, very important. ECAM logic, abnormal scenarios, system priority, difference between caution, warning. These simple questions are asked. What is the difference between caution, warning, layer 1, L1, L2, L3, overhead panel layouts, bleed, electrical fuel, MEL interpretations, very important. MEL. Questions about difference between MEL and MMEL is also asked. All right. What are the categories? Where is the category given? We also need to know that where is the category given. Can be asked in your airlines interview and also asked in the ATPL Viva. What are the categories of the MEL? Where do you find them? Okay. So use your own QRH, memorize memory items. No need to emphasize more on that. Very, very important. Revise your CBTs, A320s. Focus on abnormal procedures and failure indications. Mostly your initial failure handling questions are asked about the A320. Again, English language. Do not leave it for the last minute. Keep going through them. It will take maximum 20 minutes of your 20 to 30 minutes a day. And they won't take more than 20 to 30 seconds in the exam so that you can straight away mark the option and move to the next question. Like a comprehension passages, not asked, however, we have mentioned it here. Sentence correction, tenses, articles, prepositions, synonyms, antonyms, very simple synonyms and antonyms, and fill in the blanks based on the vocabulary. All right. Then, what is the tactical tip? Just go through the aviation related words. Check ICAO Doc 90835. English is often in the last 5 to 6 questions. They're given at the end, but there are quick gains if you're alert. You need to plan your exam, how you attempt it very smartly and wisely. All right. Now, your basic aptitude questions like speed is equal to distance upon time, percentages, ratios, averages. Very simple questions. If you are not clear upon them, it will only take maybe an hour or two to understand the concept. And these are free marks. These are the marks you should not lose upon. These are the free questions and they should take less of your time. Train, time, distance related questions, very easy. Direction sense, blood relation, pattern completion, series completion. All right. So what shall we do? Practice without a pen. Why practice without a pen? Obviously, in exam, even though you will be given a rough sheet, however, the same questions are also asked in the second round of Indigo, that is adapt, and you won't be having much time to solve these kind of questions. All these questions, aptitude and maths, are also asked in the second round, that is adapt or compass in AIX. All right, so please time yourself. Try solving 5 questions in 6 minutes because they are also asked in your personal interview. Same questions about time related, speed related questions are also asked in your interview just to put you under pressure and see how you react under pressure and how fast your mind and how well it works under the pressure. So we need to keep these simple mental maths question on our tips as well. Keep practicing it. All right. So these are some books which I would recommend. For theory, please refer Oxford. There's no need to open any other book. For DGCA, you need to be up to date with your cards and AIP. Very, very, very important. They are asked in your interviews. They are asked in your ATPL Vivas. And regarding the FDTL, it can be asked in the written exam as well. I think it is part of regulations, the FDTL, at how many hours you can fly in a day and etc. Questions like that. So, what shall you practice? Practice either Airship Aviation Academy mock test or any mock test. So, I can't emphasize any more on the practicing of the mock tests. Mock tests are really, really, really important. You need to put yourself under the time pressure, under the examinations pressure. Please time yourself. If the exam is of 75 minutes, try to complete in practice the exam in 65 minutes. Because in the exam hall, firstly, there'll be a lot of pressure. You will be surrounded by the other students. Then you will think that he or she has completed the exam before me. Maybe only I don't know what's the answer, or and also there'll be many distractions. You won't be sitting in the pin drop silence like you'll be sitting at home while attempting the mock tests. So that's why I would recommend at home try to complete your mock test in either 60 to 65 minutes. Practice your DGCA past papers and in-house workbooks, whatever you are practicing till now. What to avoid? Reliance on only Indian author books. They are incomplete and outdated. Use them only for topic review, not core learning. Okay. Along with the hard work, we also need to do the smart work. We need to stay updated. And if we are getting some information at one place only in a gist, why not go for it? So please keep, you need to be aware from where to study and what to study. All right. So what happens after a written exam? So let's talk about your written exam a bit. So you'll complete your written exam and you'll get your result after a month. You'll get your result in the mail. Either you have passed, you have cleared the written exam, or you will be you have passed, or it will be written better luck next time, something like that. So after you have cleared your examination, so a merit list is made. According to the merit list, your further rounds will proceed. For example, so whoever tops or scores the highest in your CPL and type rating categories, they will have their adapt the first. All right. So you have your adapt first, then subsequently you will have your GD and PI the first, and you'll be sent for your type rating or abridged course the first, and your induction also will be the first. So what happens is after you have cleared your exams, you'll get an email from CAE official. Then you have to go to Gurgaon in VWork for your adapt. So adapt will be your 1 day, and you clear your adapt. Then again after a month or a week, depending upon your batch, upon your merit, you will have your group discussion. Group discussion is usually of 6 to 7 students, depending upon how many students report on that day. And after that, in the subsequent, after GD subsequent 1 or 2 days, you will have your personal interview. That's how the further round goes. Now, let's talk about it. Adapt is conducted in online or in person, depending on the cycle. Usually conducted, Indigo conducted offline in VWork in Gurgaon. Okay. Sometimes also they are done online. They say that do the psychometric, the personality-based questionnaire at home and please send it. However, if they have planned it well and they have managed it well, everything is done offline. So modules include hand-eye coordination, the ball game, reaction time, multitasking, situational judgment. There are certain games on basis of which you are judged, and your hand-eye coordination and multitasking. Along with that, you will also have, while playing the game, you will have to solve the numericals. All these kind of games, it will be in the second round. Not very hard, but it requires practice. Then we have the group discussion. It includes 6 to 7 candidates discussing a given aviation related or general topic. Depends upon your luck, you get the aviation related or general topic. All right. Focus is on clarity of thought, confidence, team behavior, and decision making. Or you can say what they're focusing on is CRM. All the CRM qualities, that is what they are looking for in the group discussion. So Indigo values professionalism and composure. Speaking less but with impact works better than dominating the GD. So it happens often. If you think you have spoken the most, you have dominated in the GD, the same day you will get your result and you won't be selected. You will be rejected then and there. So you need to work as a team person. Do not become the clear-cut leader. It is a team discussion. It is a group discussion. That is what happens in the GD. What happens after that is your personal interview. The panel consists of three. One is your HR, second is a senior captain, and third is your ground instructor from iFly. So various questions on your performance of the aircraft, general DGCA, and about the company is asked in this. Your PI is for about 15 to 25 minutes, and not very hard. So I would say the hardest out of all the rounds is the written exam. Basically, your written exam is filtering the all the people, and if you have cleared the written exam, 90% you are through. The other rounds are pretty easy. So it is the written exam which is the most important. When you go to your exam hall, you will often see many people from 2020. They're sitting in the exam and waiting to clear the written exam. However, they're unable to clear the written exam because it is not very easy. You need to be thorough and it requires serious dedication about the exam. That's how you'll clear it. All
Sir,
right.
I had a query, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I've spoken to some friends. They said Indigo even has psychometry. Is
Mhm.
psychometric and adapt the same thing, or it's different, sir?
Yes, so your adapt will consist of first, it depends on you in which order you will play. You will have certain questions and games. So first you will have mental maths questions, important questions like solving uh, linear equation, then simple maths, pattern formation. That is one. Then second will be your hand-eye coordination. There is a ball game with you'll have a joystick and a rudder. Then third would be a game called Fast. In Fast, you will have to maneuver your aircraft, save it from the obstacles. At the same time, on the split screen, you will have maths questions coming up. You need to keep on solving the questions and mark the correct answer. You will have the maths, numericals, you will have various patterns, you will have memory, like certain numbers will come on the screen, then they will disappear, and you will get the option, select the number which was just on the screen. Then another one is an aircraft game, a simulator. You'll wear your headset. You have to fly a simulator in which ATC will be giving you a call, and you have to fly accordingly on that certain headings. And the last thing which you are talking about is personality questionnaire. It is about 350 to 400 questions. You can take up to 1 hour, 1.5 hours. There's no time limit, and you have to submit it. That is your adapt. So basically, they want to know your psychology, and you'll be having four options like partially agree, partially disagree, and strongly disagree. Based upon this, they are reviewed by the psychologists, and that's how you are selected for the next round. That is about the adapt.
Sir,
Takes
one question, sir. These numericals that you said along with past, are they simple arithmetics or
Yes, they are usually simple, and actually the software which Indigo uses is symbiotic. So even you can buy it and you can practice it on your own. So usually it consists of the four sets. However, on the symbiotics you will only have one set. The other three sets, it is you either ask the other students what was it. However, we um, we have made a collection of all the questions. So we have all the four sets. So these four sets are usually easy. So you get two tries. In the first try, what the trick is, do not do very well, like you perform 50%. In the second time, perform like 80 to 90%. They want to see the improvement. So same game and the same questions will be asked in the first. So in the second time, you may mark the answers if you know that set. That is the trick about your fast. All right.
okay, okay.
So some myths that it is a just DGCA based theory test. No, negative, because it is your DGCA is computer based test. Here you have OMR sheets, and it is asked in a lot of detail, unlike your DGCA. Only CPL topics are asked is another myth. Even if you are appearing as a CPL candidate, ATPL questions are asked. Certain questions are asked which are only relevant to the Indigo's exam. So you need to study everything. And A320 pilots face split paper, CPL and type rating technical. You can manage without mocks. No, you cannot. You have to keep practicing under the pressure. You need to manage the time. You need to practice the questions without using a calculator, the numericals, and you need to put yourself under the pressure so that you do not crumble in the examination. Then English and aptitude are easy sections. If you do not study them, you are not regular, not up to the date, you can lose your marks since they are confusing. We all have ELP 4, 5, and 6, but we may falter in these because they are confusing. All right. So after your written exam, you will have the other rounds, that is adapt, GD, and PI. So what do top scorers do differently? Now, what should we focus on as students? Everyone has access to the same books. Everyone has the Oxford books. Everyone has IC Joshi. Everyone has RK Bali. Everyone has Keith Williams. But it's how you train your brain and structure your preparation that defines your result. Everyone can do the hard work, but you need to be, very specific on according to the exam. So if you're studying performance from some book, what's the point? So in all the exams in all the world, only V1 and V2 are asked in performance. However, if you study from any one book in detail, they'll also teach you about V3 and V4 and etc. So all this is not important for your exam. So you need to be clear what you have to study, where to focus on, and what is asked. All right. So mastering the time management, 75 seconds, you'll be having 75 seconds for each question. In that 75 seconds, you have to read the question, analyze what is being asked. Do not get confused. Sometimes the question itself is confusing. Then you have to solve it. Compare the close options. Options are also very close. Indigo does it purposely. Then you search the question number on your OMR, then mark with the pen. All right. You have to train for the timing. We need to be on top of the merit list. Let's try for the first batch of the CPL or the type rated candidates. Then you'll be inducted the first. All right. And also, initially, the panel, the interview panel knows that this student is well studied. He has scored the highest in the written exam. So they also go easy on your interviews. Not much of grilling is done in the interviews with the initial students. So that's why we should aim for the highest marks. So use a stopwatch for every question. You need to time your questions. You need to be aware. You need to know which question takes 30 seconds, which question takes 2 minutes just by looking at it. That will come with practice, with mock tests. Simulate, don't just solve. Close the door, sit in the room for 75 minutes. Complete the exam in 65 minutes. Mark yourself, look at your mistakes. What are the mistakes you are repeating again and again? Do not try to repeat them. So that's how we'll be able to pass. Sit with pen and a OMR sheet, complete the full test in one go. 75 minutes, no breaks, no interruptions. Analyze mistakes by category after a test. Just don't focus on 1 to 2 mocks. Do as many mocks as you can and focus on improving speed, retention, and calmness under stress. Very important. The last point, calmness under stress. That's what you will be tested throughout all the rounds of your selection, be it Indigo, Air India Express, Air India, and the other airlines. Okay. You need to be aware of your strengths and weaknesses. Which part or which topic is your weak? You need to study them. You need to focus on them. All right. And the most important is tech gen. Pre-decide the sequence in which they'll attempt the sections. Okay. So just saying the most important is tech gen, then is navigation, then regs and metrology is similar. Okay. And know when to skip, guess, or revisit the question. Very important. So we don't want, sometimes what happens is usually we don't want our ego to come in between. For example, many think that I have practiced CPPNR a lot. And if in the exam you are unable to solve that question, please leave it. Please skip it. There's no negative marking. If not, you can just estimate, you can just guess and mark any option because it doesn't matter it is of CPPNR or it is of time. They all carry one, they are of the same weightage. So please do not let your ego to come in between. Okay. Don't fall for traps like spending 5 minutes stuck on one question like Venn triangle when the rest of paper is untouched. Okay. You may leave the big numericals for the end and do the easy parts in the beginning itself. You need to stay up to date with your car licensing rule changes. Very important. FDTL, AIP. Like in AIP, in many of the books, what are the classes of airspace in India? It is given incorrect in many of the books. It is not updated. However, if you check the AIP, you might find another class of airspace is added in India. You can see it in Delhi. All right. So be thorough. Keep visiting the DGCA site. And Indigo often slips in question related to latest DGCA notices. FDTL, your licenses validity has been changed, especially in regulations. Very important. Okay. Then revision, you need to keep revising again and again. The syllabus is huge, very vast. You need to revisit your syllabus again and again. You need to be, you need to remember what you had studied on the day one till the exam day. All right. So you make your own strategy. This is the strategy we usually follow at Airship in the first week. Whenever we start our course, after the course, the revision we'll do tech gen and nav in the week one because the most important. Week two, we do met and regs. And third is repeat tech gen with deeper questions because tech gen is the most important and very detailed questions are asked. Okay. Then 2 old topics plus 1 new topic, whatever you want to follow your own strategy. And please keep on doing mock tests weekly if you have enough time. All right. Study less, revise more. That's how you will top the exam. Again, OMR sheets, practice on the OMR sheets, wear formals, carry all your documents, and you should know what questions you have to attempt, what questions you have to leave. Don't burn out the night before. Whatever you have prepared, you have prepared. You can't study the full CPL and A320 FCOM in a day. So please leave it. Have a good 8 hours of sleep before you go to the exam or eat something. And please stay sharp. That's how you keep your mind sharp. All right. What are the mistakes to avoid? Over relying on CPL knowledge alone. Many things are asked. Not only CPL is asked, ATPL is asked. Then your recent questions are asked. Your English time related, speed and distance related questions are asked. Okay, many candidates assume they have passed the CPL exam and they're fully ready for the IndiGo's written round. No, everyone has completed that. Everyone sitting for the exam has cleared the CPL exams, and now it is a competition. In DGCA, it is not a competition. Everyone knows if they get 70%, they have passed the exam. Here, they don't know what is the passing marks. It will be based on the merit. If everyone is well studied, the cutoff may go up to the 90% depending upon how many students they want. So please be serious about this. Then CPL knowledge is not enough. It includes ATPL topics. Then again, the questions are twisted in format, like not just what is VMC. The question will be what happens to VMC with altitude and asymmetry. So we all should know the VMC depends on 6 factors. What are the 6 factors? That's how it is asked in the exam. For A320 rated pilots, more important, half of your paper is technical systems. Okay. Again, ignoring the clock, very important. You won't know that half of your time has passed and you have only done the 10 questions. So please keep on doing your mock papers. You will only have 75 seconds per question. If you're distracted for 3 minutes, your 2 questions are lost. All right. So please keep, time management should be kept in mind. Many candidates waste 4 to 5 minutes on the single navigational numerical. Again, ego comes in between. The weightage is same. Please leave it. All right. Then spend too long reading comprehension passages. Do it at the last. Lose track of the time halfway through and panic. Keep looking at the watch after every 2 or 3 questions. It shouldn't happen that at the last 5 minutes that the examiner is announcing 5 minutes left and you panic. Please keep a track of the time. It also causes psychological spiral stress, reduces clarity, and increases silly errors. All right. You need to simulate your actual test conditions. We have discussed it in detail. Don't skip your daily revision. Very important. Bonus mistake, focusing only on tough subjects. Again, all the subjects, all the topics carry the same weightage. You should not ignore the easier subjects as well, like Regs, English, Aptitude. All right. These 10 questions, 10 to 15 questions are quick points. You cannot afford to miss. These 10 questions you'll be able to complete in 5 minutes. So for the rest 50 questions, you'll be having 70 minutes. Think about it like that. So please do not leave the easy topics. Again, time management, very important. If you haven't seen 320, guys, if you haven't seen any QRH or any term, it's okay, use the elimination logic. It is easy to use the elimination logic in 320. Others are finishing faster. Very common trap and misconception. In your class, around 30 students will be sitting. Only 5 to 6 will be clearing the written exam. Please do not look at the others. They might have given up already. That's how you get the anxiety spike, thinking that they have completed or it's too easy for them. Do not focus. Keep your head down. Only look up at the watch, not at the other students. Focus on your own pace. You would have done your questions, your mock papers enough number of times, so it should be good. I left too many questions blank. Don't worry, you will be doing your mock papers regularly, and you'll be able to. You won't face that. All right. So how can we help at Airship Aviation Academy? So we have handpicked all the knowledge, all the data from various books, which is important for your exam, and we have compiled it together. We cover all the DGCA CPL subjects and A320 specific systems for rated. We have also started for 737. So we prioritize exam style content. We are aware of all the 60 questions which were asked in the previous two attempts in Air India Express. And we understand the Indigo psychology, how they are asking, what type of questions they are asking. We have gathered them. Then deep dive into lectures. The lectures we have the live classes for all for be it your CPL subjects, A-line entrance, and your ATPL. Then we share our diagrams and notes and numerical shortcuts and logic breakdowns. You will have your live classes and you will have doubt sessions regularly, and will handhold you to till your exam. So we have the mock test. Prepare according to your exam. In mock test, you can see along with your other peers. You can compare the marks as well. You will see who has scored the highest. It will be according to your exam, similar to your exam, same questions. And at the end, we'll also give you the mock papers, which is the questions which are really important. We give that around in the last 2, 3 days so that you can just focus on them. No need to carry all the printouts, no explanation. We give you real questions having high probability of appearing in the exam. We know the what's the pattern, the Indigo, and we know it is very easy to predict. So we know we do the smart work. Then immediate performance analysis, topic wise breakdown, explanations are provided. All right. Then obviously all the live classes they are recorded, and you can always go through them for the revision. They are recorded, and you can revise through them. And they are recorded and available for unlimited replays. This helps in those in full-time jobs. Like currently, we are doing the ATPL's classes. Not everyone is able to attend it live, so they watch the recording. Students in different time zones, again, if you're flying, rewatch tough concepts at your own pace. All right. So at Airship, we don't just give you notes, we give you a system built from real exam data, refined by instructors who have flown the line and validated by students who are now sitting in the cockpit. If you follow our method, watch the classes, take mocks seriously, revise what we tell you to. If you follow what we tell you to, if you follow the guidance, we assure you that you'll not only pass, but you'll top the exam. All right. So that's it for today's webinar. And we have a special early bird offer. From 7th of July, we are resuming our ATPL classes for the September attempt. And for the CPL classes, they are beginning on the 25th of July. If you want to enroll, you can enroll before 7th of July and you will get 3,000 off. All right. And you may before, if you have any doubts, you may watch the full recorded session before you enroll. We have a demo class as well. All right. So, questions. The floor is open for the questions. Anyone has any doubts?
Sir, I have a question. Sir, I created my written and adapt with Indigo in the September attempt last year,
Okay.
and after that, I didn't get back anything from them.
Correct.
So, sir, yes, sir. So, is it a possibility that in the coming attempt of the Indigo, they will directly consider me for GD and PA?
Yes. So what is currently happening with Indigo is it's not Indigo's fault. So the Airbus they have slowed down the delivery. That's why the induction of the April batch has been slowed down. The September batch has been paused. That's why your group discussion isn't happening. So don't worry, before the next vacancy comes out, they will resume and they're planning to resume very soon. Maybe this month you should get a notification for your group discussion.
Okay, sir.
So you'll directly start with your group discussion and PI.
Okay, sir. Sir, I had one more doubt.
Yes.
Sir, like at this stage, I'm a CPL holder, so should I go ahead with the ATPL paper or should I wait and prepare for this, like the ongoing attempt?
I would recommend is you should go for your ATPL papers. They are valid for 5 years. And if you clear all your exams in the September attempt, be it only the written and not the Viva, in your interview, you will have a huge advantage in the PI. When you give your introduction and you tell them that you are clear with your ATPL exams, you become, more favorable. So currently, many of our students, even in the meeting, many ATPL students are here, which are preparing for the airline entrance as well. So yeah, I would recommend you should go for ATPL. The syllabus is same and it will help you for your PI because the syllabus is same. It will give you more confidence.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes.
So, You said that this month people might be getting emails for so that the GD and PI are getting resumed, right? So are we looking at the next vacancy of Indigo this year?
Yes, we are looking at the next vacancy very soon. So currently they have a huge backlog. However, Indigo has a habit of overhiring. So first we are expecting ATR's vacancy soon, maybe in 2-3 months. About 320 vacancy for CPL and type rated, maybe by end of this year or definitely at the starting of the next year. That is what the information we have received. We cannot confirm it, but that is what we have got to know.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You are not audible. Can you be a bit louder? Yes.
Sir, I've actually heard that Indigo has officially stopped hiring CPL cadets. Is that true?
No, that's not true. It won't happen like that. They will keep hiring even the CPL candidates because if they need more number of pilots, there are more CPL holders than the type rated ones. So that is a myth. That is false, which is floating around.
That's great then. Thank you.
Sir.
Yes.
Hello. So my question was basically, I'm a CPL holder as well. Would you
Okay.
suggest that we do a type rating to better our chances to get in, or the CPL only hiring is coming up soon?
Again, our teams and my personal opinion, I would recommend that. So you never know which vacancy comes up first, be it your Air India, because Air India's vacancy is also due, and Indigo will definitely come up. So if you do your 320 type rated, you will be stuck to that one aircraft. However, you might get many more vacancies of other airlines as well. So again, it is your personal choice. What I would recommend is do not go for your type rating. However, if you go through your type rating, firstly your syllabus increases. Let's say if you do your type rating, you start from the next month, it will be for 2 to 3 months, and the vacancy comes out. So you will have to study for both CPL and your 320 in a short amount of time. Okay, if you are already rated, then you will have a if you are able to do that, then you will have a head start with the other CPL holders. Your induction will be quicker. The chances remain the same. The competition is same. If you see the ratio of selection of the CPL candidates and type rated candidates. So I would say it's just your personal choice. The chances they do not get much better. Only what happens is less number of students are there in type rated cadets. However, less number of type rated students are also selected. So the ratio remains the same.
Thank you.
So you were talking about ATR vacancy that will be for the type-rated ones only, no?
No, Indigo comes up with both. So Indigo hasn't started the trend of coming up with the type rated. Air India is doing that, was doing it in 2023, but because the number of ATR type rated students, the ATR type rated is really low if you compare it with your 737 and 320. So to get the quality pilots, they also hire the CPL candidates.
So because last 2-3 vacancies they hired all the type-rated ones.
Indigo? No, that's not the case. Many of us, yes.
No, there was no vacancy for ATR for CPL holders.
No, vacancy for both CPL and rated comes. Anyone else can confirm if it comes only for the rated ATR. As long as I remember, it comes for the both. A lot of students was sent to Prague for their ATR type rating.
For both, however, the people who were type rated for 320, they were not allowed to sit for the ATR.
Okay. So it comes for both CPL and ATR type rated. So it depends. So just your call if you want to go for type rating or not. Yes.
Ma'am, actually, I think, based on what you said, if you are ATR type rated, one of my friend, he sat for 320 exam, even though he was ATR type rated. So I don't know if they have any objection as such.
It's vice versa, not for. So if you are type rated on ATR, you're allowed to sit for 320, but not the other one.
Oh,
Opposite.
okay.
That
Okay.
is what happened last year with many of us.
Okay.
So it's your own personal choice if you want to go for the type rating or not. I cannot confirm what Ridhi is saying, but yeah, if you are CPL rated, you can sit for anything if you do your type rating. Usually you are allowed to sit, but in this case you might not be, but you have to pay double here for 2 type ratings. Yes, okay. Next question.
For ATR, Indigo has come up with vacancy last CPL holders vacancy in October 23.
Correct. Anyone else? More questions? No one? All right. So we'll conclude the today's webinar here. I hope you guys learned something about how the airlines entrance work, things can be expected, and how to prepare for it. All right. Thank you, everyone. Hope to see you soon in the cockpit. And if you want, our batches are beginning from 7th of July and 25th of July. We are beginning with ATPL on 7th of July and CPL classes for your airline entrance from 25th of July. The early bird offer is active. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone.